All right, let's look at Java 2 stuff. Switch over to Java 2. And this is where we're limiting the number of roles per turn. Okay. I think this is the last feature that we have to add to our Yahtzee dice roller to get it to do what it needs to do to play a game of Yahtzee with using this dice. So say you want to play Yahtzee, you have the score sheet, but you forgot your dice. So we're going to use this computerized dice to play Yahtzee. That's the idea. All right, so let's look at what the new requirements are. One of the things you find out in programming is that typically when you finish a project, as soon as you finish it, somebody thinks up new requirements that the project needs to have. And so you have to go back to the code that you've already written and kind of rework it. This happens all the time in business. You have to manage this whole cycle. If you don't manage it well, then it will just basically you never get done with the project and the project just languishes and then fails because a lot of these requirements were listed up front. We've been kind of learning our requirements as we go. Usually we have a graphical user interface to work with, but we're limited with Replit because it doesn't handle the graphics so well. So we're trying to do everything with a text-based UI, kind of the old way of doing it back when I first started programming. So these are the things we need to add to our program. We need to add a current roll number variable to keep track of which roll we're on. Remember, each turn in Yahtzee, you get up to 3 rolls. You know you'll have 1 roll, right? Because you can play unless you roll at least 1 time. But you could stop. Say you get a Yahtzee on the first roll. You don't need to do the second or third roll. You're done, right? So the first roll always happens, but the second and third rolls are optional. We're going to keep track of the current roll number so we can see which roll we're on. We're not going to ask to hold the dice on the first roll. It doesn't make sense to hold dice or hold dice on the first roll when you haven't rolled yet. You haven't rolled any dice yet. So on the first roll, we're not going to ask the question, hey, do you want to hold some dice? That doesn't make any sense at that point. We want to display the current roll number on our screen somewhere before the first roll and then after each of the subsequent rolls. We want to give the user the ability to end the turn after the first and second roll. Say they rolled a Yahtzee on their first or second turn. They're probably not going to do the third roll, so you need a way to end it. And after the third roll, the only option you give the user is to end the turn because they can't roll again. Otherwise, they just keep rolling until they get Yahtzees for everything. Finally, once the user has ended the turn, reset the current roll number to 1. Okay, so they have to indicate, yeah, I'm done. And so it'll reset the current roll number to 1 and then maybe ask if you want to roll again or maybe just roll again automatically. I don't know. And so here's the dice roller assignment. And then if you missed yesterday's class and didn't catch it all, I put a video of yesterday's class out there so that you can see what we talked about yesterday. I'm also making a recording for today. So I'll post it here and also perhaps tomorrow as well. But we need to keep these new requirements in mind, right? So let's go out and I was gonna try to do this before class, but I had a lot of issues with I'm trying to do an overhead camera system for one of my other classes, and it's just not working. I only figured out that it's not working district-wide. If you have an iPad hitched to a PC, it just doesn't work. When you're trying to share the iPad screen onto Zoom, it just doesn't function. And I've been struggling with that for about 3 days. Well, I found out that all the PCs have the same problem. There's only a few teachers that run with PCs, so that's why we haven't heard the problem yet, but it is a problem. Right, so I'm just going to go into then into my dice roller program and see if I can add some of these requirements just live right now. So I'm going to go into Replit and we'll do that. And I'm going to find my dice roller in Java 2. They call it dice tester. Yeah, there it is, dice tester. And before you start making changes, you probably need to look to see what is it doing right now. So I'm going to run it. So this is the first roll, right? And it's already asking whether we want to change our held dice, and we haven't rolled yet. So this question doesn't make sense right now. Okay. So that's one problem. I'd say no, I haven't rolled yet. Okay, so here I roll. I got 5, 5, 4, 2, 1. Got 2 5s. I say, do you want to go again? We could probably get rid of this question because, of course, they want to go again until they get to the end of the game, right? So we'll see if we can get this question out of there. But for now, we have it in there. Says, do you want to change your held dice? Well, yes. I want to hold die number 1 and 2. So please enter the die numbers to hold. So I say 1, 2. Those are the 2 I want to hold. And it rolls again. And I got another 5. That's great. Okay, so this is my second roll. Do I want to repeat? Well, yes. But again, maybe I'm going to get rid of that question. This is my third roll coming up. Do I want to change the held dice? Well, yes, I do want to change the held dice because I want to hold the third die as well. But you have to list all of them because if you don't list it, then it's not going to hold it. So I say yes. And here now I say 1, 2, 3 because I want to save these first 3. I'd like to get a 4 of a kind or even a Yahtzee. That would be cool. Here's my third roll. I didn't get any more 5s, so I guess I either use this as my 3 of a kind, or maybe I use it in my 5 scoring. There's a couple places I could use this, or in chance as well. Chance that just adds up all the dice. Do I want to repeat? Well, this is where I need to clear the dice, or I need to not let them repeat again, right? Because they've already rolled 3 times. We want them to start back with the first roll. So we have some work to do here. If I say no, say I filled out my entire Yahtzee score sheet now, and I say no, and that's the end of the game. So it kind of works, but it doesn't work the way we want. Okay, there's a lot of those requirements on the other page that doesn't work. So what do we need to add to our little tester here in order to make this work? Well, I guess one thing we need to add is the current roll number. So let's add that here before we start our loop. We'll call it roll number or roll num. How about that? And we'll set it to 1 because we're on the first roll. When we start the game, that's going to be where we start. So we only want to ask if they want to change the held dice if they're on the second or third roll, but not on the first roll. So we could put like an if statement here, and we could say, well, if roll num is not equal to 1, well, that's not equal. Not equal is this in this language. Not equal to 1. If that's the case, then I ask the question. But if I guess we have to move this even further down. So I'm indenting this whole section 1 level. Because you only want to ask all this dice holding questions. Like you want to hold the dice. If they do, then they have to enter the dice numbers to hold. 0 to clear. All this has to do with choosing which dice to hold. But if it's on the first roll, they shouldn't get that option. So if the roll number is 1, it's not equal to 1, then they get these options. But if it is equal to 1, then you want skip all this. So that's what we're doing, is we're skipping it. And we just roll. And then we print out our dice. That's this picture here. And here it says repeat. But what we could say is we could say end turn, I guess. You could say that, end turn. So maybe they, like I said, maybe they rolled a Yahtzee on their first roll. They got really lucky and got all 5 the same. Well, they're going to want it end the turn right away, right? If they say yes, they want to end the turn, then maybe what we do is we say, well, we could say we're going to move this conditional up here. So here where it asks, hey, did they type in a Y? We're going to ask that right here, if, but we'll do it in an if statement. So if they want to end their turn and you ask them that and they say yes, then what do we need to do? Well, we need to reset the roll number, right? So we'll say roll num. We'll set it back equal to 1. Now, if they say anything else, well, we need to add 1 to the roll number, right? Because they want to roll again. So we would say here, I guess you'd say else. Roll number plus plus. Remember, the plus plus operator is the increment operator. We talked about this in Java 1 yesterday. We're just adding 1 to the roll number. And then this loop is going to be driven by whether or not they want to go again. What this loop will do is maybe this will loop forever. But we can't do that. We'll solve that problem later. So here, for now, we're going to say, what should we say? I'll just say true. I'm just making an infinite loop. It's going to complain, I think, here because you can never get to this line of code. But this is what we'll look at. You having trouble seeing? Let me make it bigger. Okay, so let's try this and see if it actually compiles. I'm going to run it, see. Had lots of problems. There's problems with roll number. I thought I did add them. Roll number. Yeah, I forgot to put the data type there. So that's going to be an int. Try it again. A lot of people get upset about the number of errors. The number of errors doesn't matter. It's just the first error that matters. See, it says unreachable code, input.close. Okay, so I'm going to comment that out for a second because we're going to fix that later. But it might also complain that input is not being closed, and then it will complain. Okay, so here's our first roll. We've got 4s, we've got 2s. Do we want to end our turn? No, we want to keep rolling, so we say no. Do you want to change the held dice? I say yes. And I want to hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I'm trying to go get a full house. It's 3 of one and 2 of the other. And I did. I got my full house. See that? I got a 4. So I want to keep this, right? this is only my second roll, but I want to end my turn and I want to start over again. So I'll say yes. Now, there's something we forgot to do. I'm thinking about it now. We'll say yes, but when we say yes, we need to clear the hold array, or otherwise in the next roll, it's going to still hold the dice 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's try that and see. Yeah, see how in our next roll, those didn't change. And that should have been cleared. So we have to fix that. So not only do we have to set the roll number back to 1, but we have to clear the hold array as well. So we say dice dot set held, kind of like what we did up here. And instead of passing in a hold string, we're just going to pass in an empty string. And what that will do is it will zero out all the hold ones so that when we start our next turn, it's not going to hold any of the dice. It's going to clear them. So that's important. That's an important thing to do. Okay, so let's try it now and see if we don't have that problem. Okay, so we have 2 2s and 2 3s, kind of same setup. We don't want to end our turn. Do you want to change the held dice? Yes, we do. Which ones do we want to hold? 1, 2, 3, and 4 again. Nope, we didn't get it that time. This is only our second roll though, so we get one more roll. I don't want to end the turn. Do I want to change the held dice? Yes. Well, no, actually, it's the same. I still want to hold 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I can say no here, so I don't have to type it in again. And I still did not get what I wanted. But it's here where we have a problem. They shouldn't get an option to end the turn because their turn is over, right? This is their third roll. So we shouldn't be asking this question now. So we got to fix that. What would really help us as we're developing is to figure out which roll we're on, because right now we can't see that. So maybe in our, before we print out our dice, which is right here, dice.print, we might also print out the current roll number. So we could say this, we could say, system.out.print print line, and we could say roll number, and then we can concatenate on our current roll number. So now we can see our roll number, right? We'll be able to see it directly right above where we print it. Let's try it and see what that looks like. It's thinking. Yeah, it's struggling today. I'm going to hit F5 and reload it. We lost our changes, so let's try again. Dice, no, we want to say system.out.println roll number plus roll number. Okay, so let's try that. Let's see if we see the roll number this time. So here's roll number 1. Got an extra line there. Wonder why. Yeah, so dice.print must have something in it to put an extra line at the beginning. Yeah, see how I put a blank line there? I'm going to take that out, or right now I'll just comment it out. So it doesn't put that there. I'd like the roll number to be right up next to where the dice is. So I'm taking that out. Run it again. There it is. Roll number 1. So we've got a 4 and a 4 and 2 2s. So we want 1, 2, 4, 5, let's say. We say no on end turn. 1, 2, 4, 5. Or actually, this is asking where we want to hold it. So we say yes. And then we say 1, 2, 4, 5. Nope. I kind of don't like this, where it says end turn. I'd rather say roll again, rather be positive rather than negative. So we'll change that, but we'll say no. We don't want to end the turn. Do we want to change our held dice? No. Still no. So now we have 2 of a kind, or two pair, which is not on the score sheet. So we kind of didn't do so well. So we put that in chance. But again, it's still asking us to end the turn when it shouldn't be asking us that. It should be, this is after the third roll, that it is the end of the turn. There's no question about that. So the first thing we have to fix is, I'm going to change this end turn and I'll make it positive. So let's do that. End turn. We're gonna switch this around. We're gonna say roll again. It's more happy sounding. And then we'll say no here. If they say no to roll again, then it resets it. If they say anything else, then it's going to roll again. Okay. Let's try it now and see if we fix that problem. Okay, so we have 2s, 1, 2, 3, 6. So maybe 1 and 5. We say yes. We say yes. 1 and 5 is what I'll keep. Look, I got another 2. So now I want 1, 4, and 5. This is our second roll. So I'll roll again. Change the held dice. Yes, I want to change. I want to hold 1, 4, and 5. Nope, didn't get a 2. So I use this for my 2s or my 3 of a kind, maybe. Still getting this roll again when it shouldn't be asking us. Okay, so it's always good to go look back at our new requirements. Just make sure we're hitting all these. Add a current roll number as a variable. Well, we did that. Do not ask to hold dice question out on the first roll. We fixed that. Display the current roll number. We've done that. Give the user the ability to end the turn after the first and second rolls. And we've done that. After the third roll, only give the option for the user to end the turn. Okay, well, here we could say, let's not give them any option at all. The turn ends and it's going to roll it again. Okay. So here we might say, we add 1 to the roll, and then we can ask this question. If roll num is greater than 3, say we add it, we now the roll number is 4. Well, that's not allowed. So we check to see if that's greater than 3. And if it is, we're going to treat it just like this, as if they answered no. They don't want to roll again. So we're going to set the roll number to 0, clear the held flag, and then it should roll Do we need to roll the dice again? I guess not. We'll get to roll dice the next time we wrap around the loop. Let's try that and see. 15622. Roll again. Oh wait, this is our first roll. Why is it asking us? Yeah, we want to roll again. So we say yes. Do you want to hold some dice? Yeah. Want to hold 4 and 5. Oh, we got a full house. So now I've changed my mind. I've already got my full house. So I want to try for a Yahtzee on my 5s. So I'm going to roll again. This is my third roll. I change my held dice. I say yes. Now I want to change to 1, 2, and 3. See how it's asking me if I want to roll again? I was hoping to avoid that, but see, we haven't checked right here. But we still haven't fixed that problem. I was hoping that we had fixed it by doing this, but that's too late. That's happened too late. So we still have a problem. So you show the roll number, we print out the dice, we roll, we show the current roll number, we print out the dice. And we only want to ask this question if the roll number is a 1 or a 2, but not 3 or larger. So we can ask this question here, I guess. It gets a little bit more complicated. If roll number is greater than or equal to 3, notice I put greater than or equal to instead of just equal to. Just for some reason, if the roll number somehow jumped over 3 and went to 4 or 7 or something weird, I want to be able to catch that here. If that's the case, then that's when we want to ask the question, do you want to roll again? And if the answer no, then we clear it. Or actually, instead of greater than or equal to 3, we want to say less than 3. I've got the logic backwards. So if the roll number is less than 3, then yeah, we want to ask if they want to roll again. If it's 3 or larger, then what do we want to do? Well, let's see. We need to close this off. If it's 3 or larger, then we just want to clear it. We don't have to ask this question anymore. So I guess what we need to do is in here, in the case they say, yes, roll again, then we need to add 1 to the roll number. So we would say else. And we'll move this up here. Let's see if this makes sense logically. The roll number is less than 3. It's either 1 or 2. We ask if they roll again. If they say no, then we would just set the roll number to 1 and clear the dice held. If they say yes, we just increment the roll number. That seems to make sense. But what if the roll number is 3 or larger? Well, then what we want to do is we just want to clear the roll number and set the dice held like that. It's complaining here. Why? Let's close. Yeah, I pulled this off too soon. Well, no. The roll number is not equal to 1. We roll the dice. That's closed off. That's closed off. You say else. I don't see what's wrong here. I'm going to try compiling it. I think this is, looks like we have an extra open curly brace, I guess. Huh. Okay, so I'm going to stop this and refresh again. How do I save? I was thinking that it saves automatically, but I don't see that here. The way to save it. I'm just going to copy all of this in case we lose it. And Replit isn't the most reliable of development environments. So complaining right here, but I'm going to refresh the screen. And we may have lost some changes, but I copied them out. Yeah, it's still complaining there. You'd think someone else is in there. I have 2 sessions of this going. I only have 1. Yeah, so here's our errors. While expected. Yeah, it's thinking right here that that's the end of the while loop, but I think it's, everything looks fine to me at least. If. It's probably because I can't see the ends of the lines. Yeah, I've got 1 too many here, it seems. No, I couldn't see that earlier. Okay, so trying it again. Here's roll number 1. I say yes. Change the held dice to 2 and 3. Here's roll number 2. Yeah, I want to roll again. I do want to change the held dice to 2, 3, and 4. And it shows me roll 3, but then it also automatically rolls roll 1, which I didn't really like. But it is kind of functioning now, which is good. I did get my 4 4s. So we'll continue on this next time and tidy up this last little part, and then we'll be all finished, I think, with this assignment. All right. Any questions there before we run out of time? We got 3 more minutes. Mason, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I'll make a video of this and put this out there if you didn't catch all of it during class, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna stop sharing. And then say goodbye.
See you.
All right, see you.